Hello, I'm Dina Farmer, owner of Spectrum Getaways, and I'm a certified autism travel professional and a travel advisor, and I help families with autistic children and typical families travel the world, and I help them travel with confidence. And with that in mind, today I'm going to be talking about how to navigate through the airport, because this is a question I get very often, whether the client decides to book the airline tickets themselves or if I book them as a part of a vacation package. So I'm going to help you walk step by step exactly how to navigate the airport, what to do once you arrive, and I'm going to give you a general idea of where you pick up your bags if you decide to do a checked bag, but I'll just tell you right away, I'm team carry-on. So the very first step, especially when you're working with me, is I'm going to tell you about TSA Cares, especially if you have a child that has a cognitive, physical, medical disability. I recommend TSA Cares because it's a free program. I have a link below to my blog that talks all about TSA Cares. But if you're interested in having an actual full-blown video about it, let me know in the comments and I'll 100% work on making a video for you with that one. But you're going to register for TSA Cares. I'll leave the link again below for my blog post, but I'll also leave a link for the website so that way you can register yourself. It's free. All you have to do is fill out the form prior to 72 hours before your flight. So anytime before 72 hours before your flight, fill out this form to ask for a request for accommodations. If you're beyond the 72-hour mark, then you need to make a call to the phone number that's going to be on the website. And again, it'll be in the description below. And all you do is tell the agent on the line that you need accommodations, and these are the accommodations that you need for your child. So everything is taken care of at that point. I'll send you a packing list. You get all that stuff packed. I also have affiliate links to different things that I like to bring with me when I'm traveling with my boys. And I'll leave that link there, what I typically recommend for folks when they're getting ready to go on a trip. Once you're packed, you get ready to check in 24 hours before your flight. So if you're working with me, I'll always send you an email the day before you leave that reminds you with your record locator to check in, or reminds you to make any final details like calling your bank to let them know that you're going on a trip. Let a family member know that you're leaving. Maybe they can check on your home while you're gone. And also to make sure if you live in a cold place to, take care of your house and do any kind of preparation that you need before you leave home. So after that 24-hour mark, especially after I've made you aware of all these things, then you're going to go to the airport at least 2 hours. I always say it this way, okay? I know the airports say otherwise, but I say 2 hours before a domestic flight I would arrive, just so that you have time to use the bathroom, that you have time to get through security, you have time to eat something if that's something that you need to do, especially if you don't make any intention on buying food on the plane. I say 2 hours before your domestic flight, arrive at the airport. And this gives you plenty of time to get through security, gives you plenty of time to get to your gate, and it also gives you time if your plane is delayed or if they move your gate, because I have a habit of having to have eyes on my gate before I can go to the bathroom. It gives you enough time to do that. If you're flying internationally, I always say to arrive at the airport 3 hours before your departure. That way you can do the similar things. And if you have to drop off any bags for international flights, I recommend that you arrive 3 hours prior to your flight. So once you get to the airport, if you have signed up for TSA Cares, then you'll proceed to the check-in counter. If you have a checked bag, the agent at the check-in counter will scan your boarding pass, which you should have gotten through either the app or it should have been printed out when you checked in yesterday. And then they will either take your bags if you have checked bags, but again, I always do carry-on bags because it's so much easier. And I always have positive control over my luggage, so I know where it's at. I don't need to throw air tags in it or anything, which is a recommendation too. If you decide to do a checked bag, you can put some kind of locator inside of your checked bag. If it's lost, you always know where it's at. So at least you can kind of track where it's at, but the airline is supposed to return it to you. But this is why I carry on my bag. And typically for international flights, you get one carry-on bag, one personal item, and one checked bag. And I always do the checked bag and the personal item. Domestic flights vary. Usually all of them give you a personal item, but the checked bag and the carry-on bag may not necessarily be free, and you'll have to pay for those. You can pay for them beforehand, and typically I suggest that when you're working with me to pay for those beforehand rather than at the airport, because at the airport it's always so much more expensive. So you have checked in, you've dropped off your bag. Now you're going to go over to security, where you'll meet the TSA agent. You will see a TSA agent standing in front of security, and if you sign up with TSA Cares, you will let the agent know, hey, I've signed up with TSA Cares. They'll ask you for some information, which will be probably your name. And if you have the confirmation number, they should provide you with one when you sign up, either via the phone or on the computer, to let you know, hey, this is that I've signed up for this. So they'll check your information, and then once they verified it, which should take like just a couple minutes, it's not going to be a very long process, they will assign you an agent, and a TSA agent will help you through security. So they'll help you physically bring your items through security. Typically with me, when I'm traveling with my boys, I would have one of them like put my bags on the belt, or helping me with the medications that we might be traveling with. In the past, they would help push my stroller for me. Now that my youngest is not in a stroller anymore, that's probably not something that we need help with, but they can also help with carrying your check bags if you want. Any way, shape, or form they can help you. All you have to do is ask. You will go through the pat down, so that's just to let you know that it's not a skip screening process at all. It's more like they just help you through the process. So you do have to be screened some way, shape, or form. They more than likely won't send you through the x-ray machine, but you will have to, at the very minimum, get a pat down and go through the metal detector. And then once you've gone through security, the TSA agent will walk you to your gate. If you're military, the TSA agent can also show you where the USO is if you want to opt to wait there rather than wait at your gate. They will take you all the way there, and that's part of the whole service of TSA Cares, is to take you right to your gate, and they will leave you there, and then you'll wait in the waiting area or wait at the USO if you're military, like I said before your flight. So it makes that entire process so much easier. So you're not going alone. You actually have a companion taking you from security all the way to your gate. So once you're at your gate, you're just going to wait for boarding. Tip and sign up through the airlines, and I will typically sign you up as well, or make a marker or put a DPN code that says, hey, like this person has additional needs. So can you support them in any way, shape, or form? So I will make that request for you through each of the airlines. Go ahead and freely volunteer that information to the airlines so that they can help you, because they can't help you if they don't know what supports you need. So I typically will register for I'll mark it on the file. It says this person needs additional needs, but you can also say similar that you just need additional support. You can also get the Sunflower Lanyard, which is offered for free at most airports. And in that same article below with my TSA article, it lists all the different airports that take the Sunflower Lanyard or participate in the program. And I think it's a wonderful program that is a discreet way of letting airport staff know that you have hidden or cognitive disability, and that they need to give you more time to explain yourself, or you need more time to process different information that's been provided to you. So you can grab one of those. Usually it's going to be on the other side of security, and you can grab one of those at the airport. That way it can help you navigate a little bit better. It doesn't change anything. It just is a discreet way of letting airport staff know that you have a cognitive or hidden disability. So once you're at your gate and you're waiting for boarding, just know that boarding starts 30 minutes prior to takeoff. So they're going to start. So if your flight is at noon, boarding will start at 11:30, and the doors will close. And once those doors are closed, nobody else is getting on the flight. So just know that that's why I say to make sure that you get there 2 hours prior for domestic and 3 hours prior for international flights. This way you don't miss your flight. And if there's any changes or gate changes or anything like that, you have plenty of time to get over to a new gate. That way you don't miss your flight and you don't miss boarding. Because in reality, for a domestic flight, you have 90 minutes before your flight takes off. And then for international flights, you only have 2.5 hours by the time you get to the airport, based off of my recommendation. You get on the plane, you're going to have some kind of beverage service. Depending on the airline that you pick, you'll get complimentary beverage service with something like a low-cost air carrier. More than likely, the only thing that'll be free will be water, and everything else will be for purchase. And it can be anything from a little teeny tiny snack to a soda. It depends again on the airline. One of my favorite airlines, Southwest. I just love them. I'm not paid by them or anything like that. I just love them. They typically will give you a snack depending on the distance and a complimentary beverage. And most of the other legacy carriers will as well. But international will typically include a beverage and tea service. They'll also include meals. Usually it'll be like lunch or breakfast. Lunch and breakfast, or lunch and dinner, or maybe dinner and breakfast, depending on which time of day that you happen to be flying. So all those things will be included. And then they usually have another tea service after every single meal on international flights. So expect all of that to happen on your international flight, and then to expect at least one beverage service on your domestic flight. So we're going through a flight, we've done all that information, and now we are landing. So the flight attendants will let you know about 30 minutes prior to landing that they're getting ready to land. So all electronics can be put away, seat backs fully upright, and everything else stowed, so everything back under your foot, or your footrest, or back in the overhead compartment. And you will land, and then once you land, typically they'll tell you what baggage claim number you have. If you've checked your flight, they'll let you know where you should meet at baggage claim. So all you have to do is just listen, or if you didn't have time to hear it, the flight attendants are very happy to answer, again, the question of where is baggage claim, and what number to meet at, and they will let you know. And then you will just leave. Don't leave the airport, but leave and go follow signs for baggage claim. And then it takes about maybe like 10 minutes after you get to baggage claim for the baggage to start, because obviously you have to pull off your luggage off of the plane, take it through the airport, and put it onto the baggage claim. So that's a little bit of a process, but you will get your bags as soon as possible. I always recommend as well, if you have booked a rental car and you're traveling with your children, that you leave one parent with children with baggage claim, and then you have one parent go off, or one partner, whatever you want to title it, go off and get the rental car. It makes it a lot easier in this process, that they can go get the rental car, so everybody's not waiting around together. One person's handling luggage and the other person is handling picking up the rental car. There's usually shuttles at the airport, so you just find signs for the rental car pickup. There'll be a complimentary shuttle that will take you over to the rental car area. You grab your rental car. The rental car carrier will let you know all the steps to getting the rental car. They'll let you know where it's at. They'll give you the keys and everything like that. Then you can grab your rental car, come back to the airport, and pick everybody else up that has been waiting for you after baggage. Because the baggage claim, I would hope, usually is a lot quicker process, but rental car can take a little bit. So it's easier this way, that instead of everybody waiting around together, you can just knock it out by just going separate ways for this one. And then everybody should be hopefully done with baggage claim, and then meet the other person who has picked the rental car up outside of the terminal, and then you guys are off and on your way to your amazing vacation that I hopefully planned for you. And if not, then these are just really great tips to help you get on your way to your amazing journey that you planned for yourself. But if you're finding that you need a little bit of help planning your next journey with your autistic child, and you want it to be something that's really positive, but also something that you've booked with someone who completely understands what it's like to travel with an autistic child, then let me know. I would be happy to help you plan your next unforgettable journey with your family. As a mother of 2 autistic children, I really understand the process of planning a trip, and then also the things that come along with autism when we're traveling the world, and how to not put everything in their grandmother into a vacation, and to have a very loose and fluid yet fun trip, depending on, of course, on what you want to do. So let me know what questions you have. Let me know if you're interested in planning a trip. I'll leave a link to my website below, so you can send me a DM and let me know if you're ready to get started with your unforgettable journey. And if there's more videos that you're interested in, especially about traveling, let me know. I'd be happy to make more. I'm thinking about the TSA Cares video, so let me know what you guys think. I already have a blog post, but I'm happy to make it. And as always, follow me for more tips about traveling with your autistic child.